I will show you how to win more games against King's Indian defense lovers and avoid main theoretical battles in this kind of opening. In this video, I'm going to show you a rare and interesting variation that will help you to destroy King's Indian defense lovers. My name is Pavel Martinov. I welcome you to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to follow more interesting videos, and let's start to learn how to play against King's Indian. Variation starts after d4, knight f6, c4, here. So the normal way to reach the King's Indian defense position. And here we are playing bishop e2, and after castle we are moving g4. What is the idea of this move? After e5, d5, we are getting quite the same position to the other line knight f3 here, and after castle h3, e5, d5. So we're getting the same position, but here white need to deal with knight h5, some spicy variation. After bishop e2, castle g4, e5, d5, it's no way to knight to go to h5 somewhere, and we are moving our bishop to e2, so it's a useful square for this bishop, and we want to have move h4 in one tempo, not to play firstly h3 and somewhere h4 later. So we are trying to play kind of the same system with a quite popular knight f3 plus h3, but with some extra tempos. Actually, this position is really dangerous for black. And I mean that e5 is a very common move for real King's Indian defense fans, because they want to push the pawn to e5 like in all close positions of this opening, like for example knight f3 after castle, knight f3, the main theory, yes, e5 here, knight c6, so it's like the main tab of this position is this one, and lovers of these openings really appreciate this structure because they want to play f5 and start an attack to the center and to the king side at the same time. This line, we want to shut down this f5 move actually. So if we will shut down the move f5, black will have troubles with bishop on g7 because these pawns will cut him off, and we want to play h4, h5 to maybe force black to play g5, and this structure like h6, g5, e5, d6 is really very bad to this bishop. We will have a strong square on f5, and somewhere after we will finish the development we can switch our target to the standard play b4, c5 on the queen side. So if black wants to move f5 immediately, they will face some troubles. For example, after knight e8 we can play h4. Our idea is to play h5, and after f5 we will be able to open h line somewhere after h takes g6, and maybe we will transfer our queen on the third line. Actually, it's also the idea of the variation, and we can play for an attack as well to the king somewhere, like in some variations. After f5 here, takes g5, this position actually is not that good for black as well. We want to play h5, h6 somewhere to play for this not that good bishop, and for example after here e4, just the idea to open this bishop, also not that good for black because we are able to push our knight to f4, a very strong position. So we made this and this. In the main systems our knight is on f3 as well. We are taking this square under control. We want to support our pawns in some pawn attack, and this knight is very useful here and very strong. And we want to continue our development here. After c takes, like in this game I played with white by Konstantin Sakayev, very good game. He won with a direct attack to the king because this king actually is weak right now. We will just want to push the pawns, and black will receive a checkmate. And actually that was in the game. So king b1 just to prevent some checks on c line, like a prophylaxis move. Actually this guy is doing nothing here, so after knight c5 we took an h5. We want h6, we want g6. This position actually is completely winning. We are not we don't need to be hard with knight e6 with the treatment to these pieces. We want to improve our attacking position. Rook 8, h6 here, bishop h5. And actually it's no way to rescue this rook, because on rook e7 I can play d6 or g6 somewhere. So it's the king position is very bad. In the game it was bishop d6, takes, and queen c3, and we can see like after b5 white play g6, and they're destroying this king position with their really good pieces. So, and after some moves, just black resigned here. So because the checkmate will be very, very soon, this king is really very weak. So our main idea is that e5 is not that comfortable for black anymore, yes? And this a big trouble for fans of this opening for black, because actually the right move here is c5, and we're going to check this possibility, but actually it's really transferring the position to more like Benoni ways, and this is the other game, and not all lovers of a King's Indian wants to play c5 in general in all lines. So let's see the c5 moves. So after c5 we can play d5, and let's see first the example game to feel the white ideas. For example, after knight e6, we can follow g5, here h4. So our idea is to push h5, and maybe in some cases we can open the h line and transfer our queen to get a checkmate for black. Here h5, e6, takes, queen d3. So we are going with our queen. Knight e5, here white can play queen h3 as well. It's a very dangerous attack to the king, but in the game Indich played queen g3. It's also a common move, and he won this game in a quite good style. f4, so here takes, knight e2, here rook h4. So his idea is maybe to play queen h2, maybe to bring this rook to h1 somewhere in the future, and actually that was in the game, just here. So we are finished our development, and we want to play rook to h1 and start a real cruel attack to this king. So after this move, rook h1 here, and we have a triple of these pieces on the opened h line, and actually it's a black counterplay is delaying here, and we're going to make a checkmate. King f8, rook h7. We want to sacrifice the rook for this bishop, destroy the last defender of this king. We want to destroy him physically and make a checkmate. And after queen b2 takes, because it's impossible to take on g7, it's immediately queen h6 and queen h8 checkmate. Here, a small combination in the final of this game, and actually black resigned because after king e7, queen f6 is the checkmate right here, so the king is trapped finally. So this game can show us the main idea for white after c5. Let's go to more complicated move. I mean, like after d5, the more complicated move is e6 here. So after d5, e6, black needs to know a bit theory to get a very good position. The main line here, according to the games, is g5 here and h4 right here. But actually, I believe that this position is really dangerous for white. Queen d3, trying to defend this pawn, and we have some kind of these ideas in future. Knight e6, and actually this is really dangerous. I want to play knight b4 somewhere, I want to play b5 or even c4 somewhere. For example, for a3, trying to take b4 square under control, I can play c4, sacrifice, knight c5, and after rook e8, this pawn is really very dangerous, and I see that this position can be really good for black. Actually, the black are better here, so they can even play somewhere b5 with a huge attack here. So if I will play h5, it's lots of possibilities. Black can play knight b4 right here. It's hard to find a good place for this queen, or black able to play b4, to play c4. So it's a rich game. Of course, black needs to know a bit of the theory, but still this position seems to be dangerous for white. Actually, computer suggests here in this position f3. It looks really strange, but computer's idea is to save this pawn structure and play h4, maybe somewhere following here knight f2 and castle. So actually in blitz you can try to play this, This position is actually interesting. Or for example, if black will choose the way to d7, a4 to prevent b5 in any cases. Yes, a6 here. I think like knight h3 maybe. So this position can be played in blitz. So and actually as well, white can make a interesting move that can be possible in the blitz a4 right here. So the idea is to completely shut down b5 in some variations, because it can be really useful. B5, I mean, really useful tool for black. After takes knight d7, for example, h4. So I want to push h5 as well. For example, to knight e5, I will defend my pawn f3, and this position is actually kind of unclear here. So, and as well, if you see this position, it's more about Benoni, not about King's Indian, and not all fans of King's Indian defense wants to play such type of positions for black. So after h4, black can play queen e7, for example. Like right here, f3 is possible as well. So we have interesting position right here. The same idea to place the knight on f2, maybe to follow castle somewhere. We have some kind of a space advantage, but of course black counterplay is enough. They can push f5 somewhere in some cases, but this is a spicy position, and it's a really interesting position, and this is the different type of the position. So for sure, after like c5, in general, black is able to take a normal counterplay, a normal position. But at the same time, after d5, we are not going to the positions of King's Indian defense. We're going to the positions of the Benoni type. So especially in the blitz, you can use this tricky opportunity, bishop e2. And if your opponent after bishop e2 will play e5, just take a look over d5 and these structures that we are playing to prevent immediately f5. That's really very good for white. If you want to learn more about such type of pawn structures, you can write me on my website or for my email, and we will have a consultation. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and you learned a bit more about ideas in King's Indian defense. I wish you good luck in chess, good luck in your life, and stay with me, subscribe to my YouTube channel.